We're not rolling?
Are you rolling?
We're rolling.
Yeah, roll. Well, hold on. Let me put my.
You tell me when I could start talking.
What?
You can start talking.
Are you gonna do it with your mask on?
Not on here. What I'm doing is I wear it this way because
Oh, you're Jewish.
I'm Jewish.
Got it.
you're
And we
Jewish.
just had Yom Kippur. So I'm still celebrating.
Yeah.
This is a COVID and Judaism at the same time.
Yeah. Are you wearing socks or just free flowing?
No, this is not. Would you really call when you're not wearing socks it's free flowing? What is it? What does your feet have to do with your nuts?
Oh, is that?
And is this the lady
Free
that
balling.
This is my girlfriend, Khalyla.
I know
Khalyla.
who saved your life?
Yeah. She saved
And I
my
came
life.
in fully bathed, freshly bathed for you.
She took a.
Wait, usually you wouldn't.
No.
You don't bathe.
I bathed, but not right before the podcast.
Not for the
but I
guests.
was
She
like,
did it for
you know
you.
what? Just for Howie.
You just bathed. Is your
Just-
hair still wet?
Yep.
Just for you?
Just
That's
for you.
That is. Nobody's ever. Oh my God, I think I'm gonna cry. No. It means a lot to me that somebody would actually take a bath for me.
Yeah. I also didn't tell her to do it. She did it on her own gut instinct, which is great. What a great girlfriend.
Just to have the gut instinct to bathe.
Right.
It
No,
makes
because
Well-
no, because I'm fucking you, man.
Don't feel too
start
special.
forgetting, start
Don't feel too
no,
special
that doesn't.
because-
Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
So I was saying that every time we've had a meeting or a get together,
Yeah.
you call me 30 times and go, I can't find my way. I can't find my way. And when people ask me about you, I love you, and they go, is there anything? I go, he can never find his fucking way
I know.
to anything.
But-
you're always, and you always call me, I'm 10 minutes away, where do you turn? And I go, how is that possible? This is actually the first time I've been to this is your house, isn't it?
Yeah. It's
I hope so, because
Yeah.
the people are going to be pissed. No, not because you're doing this, but your girlfriend was upstairs using their bathtub.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Can I say something?
before I finish the story, okay, that's your thing. That's your thing.
This is my show now. You're right.
Just set up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I heard you on Bobby. It sounded like there were some great stories that you started.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, well, finish, Howie.
No, I don't want to.
Okay, so I just want to defend myself as well. May I defend myself?
Yeah, I don't think you have to ask me. Just do it.
Yeah. So I
love you.
I
You don't
remember
have
one
to defend
time,
yourself.
right? We had a meeting we were pitching a show, and you guys didn't put me on the fucking list, right? So I'm at the gate.
No,
going,
that was Netflix, and you were on the list. That was Netflix. Netflix
Is that why you had to come to the gate and go, come on in?
I have to say that every time I go to Netflix, there's a clusterfuck at the gate. There is.
Yeah.
And you were on the list. We didn't put you on the list.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? Here at your house, I wasn't on the list? Is that why I didn't?
No,
is that
that's
what
not
you're
why-
saying?
that's why-
Your feet look great. You told me you had a problem with your feet.
My left foot is bad.
I made him cut
I know
his
you like
toenails
it.
the other
What?
day. No, I made him cut his toenails the other day. They were
For
very-
me?
For you.
Yeah.
he was
You
just-
bathed and you had it.
talons.
Howie,
Made him
if
cut
I
his
opened up
talons.
one of the toes,
Don't open up toes.
I know. But if I opened up one of the toes, right, between the cracks,
Yeah.
you would be disgusted.
Howie, I have a question for you. How have you been able to stay friends with him all this time, knowing like how unhygienic he is?
You're fucking him. I just have him at meetings and stuff. I think that's a question for you.
But see, I'm a germophile, not a germaphobe. So
Oh, wow.
I you know.
Yeah, I don't fuck Bobby. I go to meetings with him. I'm here. I'm like 10 feet from him at this thing.
I mean, even if we were gay and lovers, we would. How would we even do that?
What?
Make love.
I would imagine. Would I
I mean,
fuck you or would you fuck? I don't know who's the
Why can't
giver and the receiver.
Why
Is that, why do we have to figure that out?
Let's figure that out. Why can't we fuck each other?
How can you do that at the same time?
Well, we can 69. I mean, we're not fucking, but we're like doing stuff together.
Wow.
Yeah.
He thought about it.
No, you're
Anyway,
right.
I know, but my point is that because I'm so filthy, and you're like,
Is he filthy?
He strangely never smells, which really kind of irks me because he doesn't.
Well, maybe
shower
you have
much.
COVID.
Maybe. I got tested today for you.
Yeah.
As
For
well.
COVID or
For
just
COVID.
an oral test? And what is that? What are you doing?
The valleys. as well.
Televised? I got tested for you. Did they stick one of those swabs in your? It's
Vagina.
Bobby.
It's called vagina.
I know, but I don't know what it is to a guest. How do you want your guest to refer to your?
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not going to call you. Call it.
So
vagina.
you were late to
you
my-
You guys have names for each of your private parts.
What do you call yours, sweetie?
Well, Toki the Dum Dum's my
Yeah,
dick.
yours, Toki
Yeah,
the
everyone
Dum
knows
Dum.
Toki the Dum Dum.
Everyone
Everyone knows that, right?
Toki the Dum Dum.
Yeah, and,
did you name it?
No, he
No,
named
Toki's. What do you mean? He was born with the name.
it- Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was a
didn't
kid-
get a name until I met my first girlfriend. You named it. You were alone and you had a friend.
When I was a baby, I go Toki dun dun, and then it was just like,
It has
and he
its
goes,
own-
yeah,
It has its own birth certificate.
yeah,
too.
yeah. Sharps
Really?
Hospital, 1971, San Diego.
Wait, it wasn't born on the same day as you?
no, no. I mean, we're like basically like Siamese twins,
Oh, joined at the day.
right? So I
At the
came out
balls.
first. And then Toki was like, "What about me?" And he came out last.
That's your nuts. Don't your nuts drop? Aren't your nuts? Don't nuts drop like you don't? You're not born with dropping.
Yeah.
Right?
So if they don't drop,
Thank you
it's
for
called,
explaining my nuts to me. That's why you love
He's
her.
a nurse.
If they
Are you a
don't,
nurse?
if they don't drop, it's cryptorchidism.
It's what?
You'd have to pry it out.
Cryptorica is a
You have to pry it out,
Yeah, because sometimes nuts don't drop, and
and then have you? As you don't practice
I've
as a nurse
seen-
anymore, do you?
no, I don't.
But were you ever in the nut
Yeah.
prying room?
I've seen I've seen babies or like.
But how do you know when it's too late? Have you ever had a man show up to say, "Can you pry this for me?"
I'm not
If
a
at
nut
first you don't
pryer.
succeed, pry again. Is that a medical term?
I think so.
Do you do it with your hands or do you use
Wait,
tweezers?
no, it's an actual surgery you have to do. You can't just yank it out.
You said pry. Pry is not a surgery.
Prying can be a surgery. It just can't be by my nursing hands. It's got to be a medical
But
doctor.
the connotation that you're saying is that that person's nuts are none of your business.
Correct.
So the only way you can get at them is to pry. You know how when you ask somebody,
Yeah.
see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's start the podcast.
Oh, we're not started?
No, that's not how we start.
No, what I do is I do the closing. Oh, do you have a certain? Okay,
we have
go
a
ahead.
certain opening, right? And then
What did you buy from Louis Vuitton?
it was my birthday, so he gave me a gift today.
A box for Louis Vuitton
No,
to put
he got,
whatever.
He got me a beanie.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
I feel
George.
bad. I didn't.
Yeah.
I had a gift for you too.
No, you showing up is the gift.
I know. That's my.
Yeah,
I know.
because
People
I've been
don't realize
wanting you on this fucking podcast for years. You're on a list.
No, absolutely. And can I just say that I have been on a list for years now. I've been on the list. No one has ever called. No one has ever asked. He's been wanting me so badly that they've never called. In fact, this was my request. Can I be on your podcast? It was.
No, I know.
Was it? Is that the truth?
Rich.
Rich is
No,
here.
that's not fair. Start the podcast. We'll talk about it in a second.
Okay.
Okay. That's not fair. And how dare
Why do you keep saying, I've been here for a fucking half hour. You keep saying, start the podcast.
Let's start. Just start.
Five, four, three,
This is how we start.
2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of Tiger Belly, baby. I got my beautiful girlfriend Khalyla here. We got white piece of shit George right there. We got Richie, Choo. We got Gil,
Gook.
and I didn't say gook.
Oh,
I didn't say gook.
I was trying to mad
I just said
lib
gook. And let me just say this right now. All right, I am one.
Yeah.
But don't say it.
Okay, you're right.
Thank you.
That's it.
Anyway,
Can-
we're not,
you
don't,
can-
this is not how it goes.
You can. Oh, we didn't start.
No,
yet.
no.
Can't wait till this
Introduce-
starts.
I have to introduce you first, right? Because you're next.
I wish I could have used this when I was like a single guy. No. We didn't start the sex yet. We didn't start.
Howie,
yet.
Howie, just
Well, what are you
relax.
doing?
Howie,
What is
Howie.
all this goo all
It's
over my
almost-
face? We didn't start yet.
Howie, it's almost time.
To start?
Yeah, almost when you could talk. I had to fucking introduce you first, man.
No wonder why I've never been on this podcast. There's no beginning to this.
Yeah.
Is there any
So
content?
anyway,
okay.
so just give me a second, okay?
I will.
So
I've
this
got
next guest,
nothing.
our next guest.
Our next guest? Are there many guests on each podcast? I'm not the opening
Our first
guest.
Our first guest, right?
You know, because when I was doing the Tonight Show and stuff, you want to be the lead guest. I'm not the lead guest
No, you're
in
like the
fucking
third
Bobby Lee's garage.
You're a comic. The comic is always the third guest on a fucking Tonight
in
Show.
your garage?
Yes. We already had
I
fucking.
thought it was
Bette-
important. Your girlfriend took
We
a
had
bath
Tom
for
Hardy
me.
on already, and we had a juggler, and now it's you.
A juggler on a podcast?
It's great content.
Okay, so this next guy coming to our show is somebody that I've been wanting on the show for a very long time.
But didn't ask anybody.
Yeah, you'd never asked anybody, but I thought just he would just know telepathically.
To show up.
Yeah, just to show up. Secondly, I've been a huge fan. When I was a kid, I watched HBO's Young Comedian Special or something.
When he was a kid, you turned 50 this week.
No.
Yeah, 40 years ago,
40
decades
years
ago.
Yeah, a long time
I used
ago.
to be a fan.
But no, I'm still a fan now, but just let me fucking finish the intro, man. All right, so...
I love that I've been here for how long now? Am I
So
exaggerating?
he was on HBO
20 minutes. I don't know how much you edit this, but I've been here for 20 fucking minutes, and he's not finished the intro.
So I saw him on the Young Comedian.
Well, we're out of time.
And
Thank you.
And it really influenced me comedically because...
I influenced you?
Yeah, you did.
Don't say that. Because I think that you're amazing, and I think what you do is
shit.
funnier than anything I've ever done.
I'm going to fucking finish this intro no matter what you fucking do, okay?
And then once the
He was
intro's
also on a
finished,
show called
are we doing the goodbyes?
Saint Asshole. Saint Asshole.
Saint Asshole.
Saint
Asshole.
Saint Asshole.
He watched every episode of Saint Asshole.
Saint Asshole. Obviously,
You know.
the
Obviously.
he did Bobby's World, but he also did.
Bobby's World wasn't you.
I know you did it though.
Right. And
Right.
you're Bobby, but it wasn't your world.
I know, but that's what the fuck the thing was called.
Yeah. No, I'm right.
Yeah. All right.
I don't want to interrupt. Don't
That's what the
interrupt
fucking thing was called.
Don't stop your fucking intro. We've only got a week.
And then he was the host of Deal or No Deal, right? And now he is one of the prestigious judges on America's Got Talent.
One of the what?
Prestigious.
Prestigious? Is that plural?
Yeah, both of them.
Right.
Yeah, he did both of it. So he's also somebody that whenever he has a
Do you have writers on this podcast?
No, I'm
I
improvising,
can tell.
dude. I'm adding information. He's
What
also,
are you looking at?
I'm just counting the fucking things you've done, man.
What do we have?
I'm sorry.
You got it.
I got it. So whenever this guy, even in my down times in my career, right? Whenever this dude he's producing a project, he always invites me to do it because I don't know why.
I'll tell you why.
And I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does the guest ever?
No, when I say your fucking name, Howie, is when you fucking talk. I know you have this.
my name. You said it.
Damn it.
That's true.
Damn it.
Howie Mandel, give him a round of applause.
I love that. A podcast that just introduces people. It's 1 hour each week of introductions by Bobby Lee.
But you really, I want to thank you because
the reason I
there
call
were
you
times,
every time.
Okay, there was time.
They can.
Dude,
If we both talk at the same time, we'll finish this faster, and then your producer can edit.
No, we're not editing this.
No, you should.
I won't.
It's not good.
Oh, network.
Whenever there was some like big lulls in my career where like no one was calling, and then those little tiny windows, how we would call with a project, either to do a pilot or I have a show, I want you to do it, and it really kind of uplifted me in those dull times in my career. I'm killing it now, you know what I mean, and I don't need his help. But in those times, and him and I also, and Joe Coy were trying to get the show off the ground for years, and he's obviously the producer of that, and we've been pitching and stuff. But anyway, Howie Mandel has always been somebody that's really just have helped me. I met him when I did Mad TV years ago. He did a sketch with me at my place that I used to live above the Comedy Store, and ever since then, he's just been a pal and somebody that I looked up to and somebody that's helped me so much, and I love him so much. Let's get a real good round of applause for Howie Mandel, everybody. Clap your hands. That's your second intro.
Wow.
Yeah.
The words were beautiful. The applause, nah. But 6 people in somebody's garage doesn't. It's fun to be in front of an audience and to hear the roar of a crowd. But just 6 people, and she didn't applaud at all. No, I know. The bath was enough. The bath. Once you've given a bath, there's no more.
COVID test.
And COVID test for you.
Right, she had the COVID test for me. Can I just say that the reason, all kidding aside, the reason I always call you when I'm trying to sell something, and from the first time, and I became aware of you on Mad TV. I didn't know you before Mad TV. I think that you're one of the. I don't laugh harder at any other comedian than I laugh at you, and I think you're amazing. No, is that true? I tell Rich all the time, I think you're amazing. I think you're funny. I think, and you're really hard on yourself. Really hard. I know, really hard on yourself. Crazy hard on yourself.
Yeah.
To a detriment. Thank God that she's here to tell you you're an idiot for thinking that the negativity is there. But maybe that's what makes you so great, is because you're so hard on yourself. And I don't know that people know this, but you're also one of the best human beings that I have ever met. Like as crazy as you are. No, I'm not going to fuck you. We tried to. I don't know if people listened to this podcast before it actually started, but we talked about that. Is any part of this going to be heard?
All of it, from beginning to end.
But the beginning wasn't at the beginning.
Continue with the compliment. Continue with the compliment.
I forgot what I said.
So, but that reminds me though, is I remember you telling me once, because, you know, I look at Khalyla and I go, I think she's helped me so much. I mean, I wouldn't be where I'm at today without her help, you know? And I think your wife, too, has been very instrumental in your...
I think I'm alive because of my wife, and I think I'm here because of my wife. We've talked
about it, yeah.
Intimately about our mental health issues,
yeah, which
I don't think anybody is without. And my wife was there to pry my nuts down. But I'm from Canada. It's very cold. Sometimes they go up, and they hide. And she brought me down here and pried my nuts.
But you told me once though too is that at first when Deal or No Deal was presented to you, you didn't really initially jump on it.
I said "fuck you" to the person called.
I know.
I was at 2005. I told you this.
Yeah.
My career in my mind was over. You know, I had done St. Elsewhere, and I had done Bobby's World in the 90s, and I did a lot of TV, and I did a lot of movies in the 80s. And by about 2004, I was getting jobs at comedy clubs, which were maybe 25% full when I got there. So there was no people in the audience. So the audience has waned. In my height, I was playing like 10,000 seats in 84 or 83 and doing the Tonight Show. But now I had like 60 people in the audience, and I was reading for parts for 5 lines and under, so I'd be outside a casting office. And then I get this call from my manager who says, you know, NBC wants you to do a game show. And I went, fuck you. And if you remember, nobody remembers, but if you remember 2004 or 2005, at that time, not one comedian ever since Groucho Marx had done a game show. Groucho Marx did You Bet Your Life, which Leno is actually doing right now. But no comedian had done that. And in fact, you know, being the game show host was the punchline. You know, it was kind of a joke. It's just the guy in a suit who reads trivia questions. I didn't want to be a game. So I said, fuck you. You know, my career is over and I'd like to leave. And
were you going to go back to Canada?
No, I deal in. I've done okay, but I like real estate as much as I like show business. So I was doing I said, listen, as for money and business, I can do okay. I just don't need to be constantly humiliated, embarrassed, kicked in the nuts mentally every fucking day. This is a really hard business, even when you're doing well.
Yeah.
Even when you're doing well, because the better you do, the harder the rejection feels, because you feel like you got that self-worthiness, and how can he say no? You know, even up to like 2 months ago, I've, you know, as you talked about, I produce shows. I've even said to a network, you know, and you know what? I'll host this one. And they have said to me, well, we don't want you. So,
yeah.
You know, which is funny, but it's also, it's a kick in the nuts.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is I didn't have the success along with the kick of the nuts. So I just said, listen, I'll make money. I'll do it. I don't need to do this to myself every day. And if I do a game show, that's going to be the nail in the coffin of my career.
Wow.
You know, game show host. That's the last thing I want to do, or I'd be embarrassed in front of any of the comedy community or anybody in show business. The last thing he did St. Elsewhere. He did movies. He created shows. And now he's saying, what is the capital of Arizona? For 6 points.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that wasn't something I thought was, you know, in the cards for me. And so I said no. Then they called back a half hour later. They go, I just want you to understand that they're going to do this game show. It's not an afternoon game show. They're going to do it in prime time. 5 nights. And no network has ever devoted 5 hours in 1 week of primetime television to a game which already exists in most of the world, and it's kicking ass. So I said, I really don't want to do it. He calls me back a half hour later and he said, will you just talk to the guy? I go, I'll talk to the guy, but I don't even want to, you know, part of the humiliation is me driving and trying to find the place, kind of like today. Yeah. And if I get there, nobody's going to be bathed for me. It's a whole new era. I can't thank you enough. You don't know how much I love you now for that.
Don't feel too special. I do bathe 3 times a day.
Well, you're so much. I like you so much better than Ashton Kutcher.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Do you know about his bathing habits?
Yeah, and while I try not to be judgmental about it,
You're about to be judgmental.
very, very deep, visceral feelings about not bathing every day. But
He says he doesn't bathe. He only
the
washes his
vitals.
nuts.
The vitals, he says, right?
But I love that his nuts are his vitals. You would think your hands. Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Your hands are filthy. You think my hands are filthy? Look how shiny and clean my nuts are. I don't care about this is my vital. I don't care about my fingers.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, I don't want to come to a meeting, but I'm at Jerry's Deli here in the Valley. And I'm having soup. If he wants to come here.
Yeah. Matzo ball?
Were you just saying that because I'm a Jew? Was it?
No,
you're
I love
Jew?
the matzo ball.
No. You said it because I'm a Jew.
Yes.
Yes.
You guys eat it.
Did I come in
You
here
guys
and
love
say,
it.
did you finish your rice?
I know, but you guys love it. I love rice. You love matzo. Let's move on.
No,
Go
I
ahead.
like rice.
Yeah. I love both. Let's go. So you went to Jerry's.
It's a Jew thing.
Let me get you. Yeah, you were at Jerry's Deli. You're eating your big matzo ball soup, the big ball,
Canceled.
and he comes
All right.
in. He comes in.
Anyway, he comes in and he goes, let me just show you the game. And I thought I was being pranked. It's this guy, Rob Smith from Endemol. And he had a cartoon. He had an art card, like a piece of paper. And he had drawn 26 squares. He didn't go to Kinko. He didn't spend, it looked like a special needs after school project.
Yeah.
And he puts these 26 down. He goes, I'm going to show you something. Pick a card and don't show me what it is. And I pick a card and I don't show him what it is. But he's got each card had the amount of money on it, like $1 million and what.
Yeah.
He goes, now, do you think you got the $1 million? I go, well, I got the soup. And why do I think? He goes, watch this. Open up 6 other cards. And whatever's in those cards is not in your. And I didn't really understand. I go, is there any trivia? Is there any skill? No. Right. So I went home and I told my wife, this is the worst fucking, there's no game. An hour, hour, and they kept saying to me, you are perfect for this. We can't do this without you, Howie. We see you as the perfect person for this game, which bothered me more because there's no fucking game. Maybe it's because I had no fucking career, so a guy with no career doing no game is perfect. So I went home and my wife said to me, I said, it's this game. They open up cases and that, and she goes, do it. And
She just said flat out, do it.
yeah. Well, she said, I don't want you in the house anymore.
Yeah, I got it.
She said, just do it, please. You just got to, I was going down a really dark wormhole. I was just sitting there horribly. And she goes, I don't care what it is. Just do something. You just need to do it. And so she talked me into doing it, which I thought was horrible idea, but I listened to her like you listened to her.
Yeah.
They seem to be a little smarter than we are.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I went there and I was devastated, because they were practicing it and it didn't make any sense to me. And then I said, oh, and this is Friday. So I call them back on Friday and I said, okay, I'll do it. And they went, great. We told you, you're the perfect person for this. You're the guy that can do this. And I said, when do we tape? And he goes, Monday. And I go, Monday? Monday? But what about the models? You need 26 models. We got them. I said, you've already cast all the models. I go, what about a set? Built. How fucking far down the list was I? How many people said no before you come to Friday?
That's negative. You're doing negative thinkings?
Who made you Mr. Positive all of a sudden?
Negative thinkings, all right, this is what happened, right? You were their number one. You hadn't agreed with it, so they had backups, right? They had, I don't know their name, Jim Schmaginigan. I just made up a guy.
Yeah.
I know, but it rhymes with Gaffigan.
Yeah, or so whoever, right?
Right.
And then it's like, they're like, oh, we're going to have to go with Jim because Howie hasn't called. But then when Friday you called, right, they were like, they called Jim. Later, we got Howie.
Okay, that's a nice positive story, but it's bullshit because honestly, no, I was way down the rung. That's what I thought. You're right, negative thinkings. But as I did the show and met people who were offered it, I was right.
Yeah.
Ellen was offered it. A bunch of people were offered the show.
Yeah.
So I like your positive thinking, and it doesn't make me feel better because it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
But I think that you got to think positive.
I would just stop for there for a second.
Okay.
I just did Game On. Remember a couple years ago? I did a game show with.
Wait, one more second. Can we open the podcast one more time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
5, 4, 3.
Douchey. Oh.
Anyway, guys, my butthole used to be a mess.
Oh.
It used to be a dirty, forbidden place.
Sure was.
It was like a chasm of ugliness.
Oh, man.
And because, toilet paper just wasn't doing it for me. And I didn't know. And then as soon as we install the Tushy, my butthole is so clean. Wow. It's so easy to install. It's so affordable. It's like, you know, you don't even have to use as much toilet paper, so you're helping with the environment. But it really is a lifesaver. It's like my butthole is so good.
Let me just also add that, do you know how excited people are when they come over and they see that you have a bidet?
Yeah.
It really is sort of this like fun thing that you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I could just wash my butt
Fancy.
Yeah.
at Bobby and Khalyla's.
Tushy's the modern bidet for people who poop, and we all poop. Hopefully, just poop, wash, and pat dry. It's that easy.
The Tushy bidet washes your bum with water for a better clean than toilet paper. Washing with water is less irritating and more soothing for your beehole, right, babe? Mm-hmm. It's easy to install, like Bobby said. It attaches to the toilet in under 10 minutes. No electricity or plumbing needed. Tell us more about it, Gil.
Guys, start washing with a Tushy bidet for a better clean. Go to hellotushy.com/TigerBelly to get 10% off plus free shipping. This is a special offer for TigerBelly listeners at hellotushy.com/TigerBelly for 10% off. After you buy, install your Tushy, show it off. Tag us at hellotushy on Instagram.
Calm. You guys, when I go to bed, I use this app called Calm. And what Calm does, it puts me right to sleep. And you know what? It takes a lot for me to sleep. You know, I used to take pills and this and this and that. I don't need those anymore. I use Calm. Calm has the best soothing stories, right? They have curated music tracks. They have great sound design, like field recordings where you can hear like rainfalls.
Yeah.
And birds chirping.
Yeah, it's great.
Calm is really useful when I travel, because sometimes when I'm in a new, when Bobby and I travel, we're in a hotel or it's just new surroundings, my anxiety tends to sort of creep up. I have trouble sleeping. So what I do is I take a shower, I put my little sleepy hat on, tuck myself into bed, and I do their 10-minute guided meditations to help me just kind of power down and move into a sweet, sweet slumber.
If you go to calm.com/belly, you'll get a limited time offer of 40% off of Calm premium subscription, which includes hundreds of hours of programming, and new content is added every week. Go ahead, Gil.
For listeners of the show, Calm is offering a special limited time promotion of 40% off a Calm premium subscription at calm.com/belly. Go to calm.com/belly for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/belly. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Welcome to another episode of TigerBelly with me. We got white piece of shit over there, George. White piece of shit. He's the worst white there is. No, he bought me this Louis Vuitton beanie. Thank you so much for this birthday gift. That's the best thing you've ever done for me. No, you've done so many good things, but that was a really good one.
How long have you guys worked together?
10 years.
10 years,
Yeah.
and that fucking hat is the best.
That's true. That's true. I haven't thought of it that way.
I did.
Yeah.
And so did everybody listening.
So you show up and you do it, and then
No, I called them back. I was terrified that I said okay. My
Yeah.
wife made me say okay.
Yeah.
So I called them a couple hours later and I said, I don't know what to do, and I've never done a game show.
you were
Will you
vulnerable and scared.
I live vulnerable and scared, but yes, I was even more heightened vulnerability and fear because we were about to start. And so I said, can I hire some comedy from my friends to write? Maybe we can write. Maybe if nothing else, if this game is a piece of shit, I'll be funny.
Right.
And I don't know what to do. And you're asking me to do 5 hours. So let's write. They said, okay. And two of my friends came over and we wrote jokes about cases and things and models and shit like that. And then I walked out that first day, that Monday. I walk out and they said, welcome to Deal or No Deal. And the crowd is roaring and there's 12 cameras around and all these and I introduced the very first contestant. Never forget, I did 500 shows. Karen Van.
Wow.
Karen Van was the very first contestant. And I met her. I said, tell me about yourself, Karen. And Karen explained to me that she was a single mother, and these were her 3 children sitting in the audience right there. And she's never owned a home. She doesn't have health insurance. She's not from here. She's from some site in Iowa, like in middle America. And then I realized, oh my God, this person is real. This is real. And this is gonna, for her, that's Karen Van right there.
Wow, Karen Van.
And this picture makes so much sense to me. Keep this picture up because I want to tell you. This is how she decided to dress for our episode, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was Karen Van. That's the very first show. I've been doing the show for 10 minutes. And then I realized she's a real person. And I also realized she's never been on television before. So there was like a glaze over her as far as all the cameras and all the lights and all the people. So she really wasn't listening, you know. So the first offer was something like $10,000. And I thought, she's done nothing. And in 2 minutes, I just offered her $10,000. And with no thought, she goes, no deal. And here's a woman here's a woman that just said, she has 3 children. She doesn't have insurance. She doesn't have it. And she's turning, I would have said $10,000. I've done nothing. I haven't answered. Bye. And I'll take the $10,000,
100%,
right?
Yeah.
But she didn't even think about, you don't have to.
Why did you just do that, babe?
Babe,
don't ever do that.
You've had what? No, let her finish her sentence.
I have allergies, really bad allergies.
Bullshit.
I swear to God.
What are you allergic to now? You're fully bathed. I'm in the room. Jews. Is it Jews?
Damn, that's wow.
What are you allergic to? What could you have coughed about in here? We're in a garage. There's no grass. There's no animals. There's these are fake, right?
Yeah.
The plants are all fake, so it's not greenery. That's not a real dog. Everything's
I've
in
had
here,
to
but
cough
everything.
5 times. I've been holding it in.
I know. I've been holding
I
this
want to
in.
sneeze so bad right now, but I can't.
I had been holding that in for 20 minutes.
Right.
I was like,
and then she turned her head too, right? And I went, it was like a slow-mo. She went,
but also really bad form. I coughed into my hand. But you know what, Howie?
Right. So whatever
What I'm
you
gonna
have
do.
is
Look what
spread
I'm
to your
gonna do.
hand.
look at.
What are you gonna do?
Spray.
What are you spraying?
This is alcohol.
A bottle of Bobby's snot that she keeps by his side. That's just his mucus.
Yeah.
I like to wash my hands. Anyway, the point that I was making here is she said no deal. And then I thought, first and foremost, and this is what I love about you. Buddy, you're a human being.
That's right.
First.
100.
And as crazy as you are, you're a nice human being. And what happened to me there, I'm tooting my own horn. I'm very nice. No. But the thing was, by the way, this is a real person, and I don't care about. She was making some dumb decisions, so that changed my cadence, and I didn't want to do jokes anymore because I felt that was distracting her.
Right.
From making good decisions. And it also informed my cadence of how I did that show. I talked to her like I talked to my 5-year-old. And I said, okay, the offer, listen to me, is $60,000.
Wow. It's happening.
$60,000. More than you've made in 3 years. Or do you open up another 4 cases? Karen, listen to me. $60,000.
Wow.
Deal or no deal? You know, and that I was talking to her, but that became my cadence, and it was just about making her understand how important this was.
That's amazing.
It wasn't amazing because it didn't work, and she ended up leaving. But she ended up leaving. That woman, look at her right there, ended up leaving with $5,000. Now that's great. $5,000 is almost double what I'm getting today for this podcast. But here's the thing: look at how she's dressed. So we did the show. For 5 years on NBC, then we did it in syndication, and then it was rebooted on CNBC. But they did these things where they did follow-ups to find out what the people who won the money, 4 people won the million, some people won. Like how did it change your life? What did you do now? And obviously, if you're going to do that, you go back to the very first American Deal or No Deal contestant. We went back to Karen Van, and we said, $5,000 is a lot to leave with. What did you do?
What did you do?
Look at this picture and tell me this doesn't make sense. She had her tits done.
All right, Karen.
For those that are just listening and not watching, she's wearing who wears what do you call those? A poncho. She's wearing a poncho because she was self-conscious about her
breasts.
Right. So you see that it's important. That's a poncho, isn't it?
That is.
It's kind of poncho-esque.
Yeah, it's
Poncho-esque.
Yeah. But Deal or No Deal changed your trajectory.
So here's what happened. So I did that show. No. So I did the show and I did none of the jokes and I just played that game with that cadence. And I taped 5 episodes And I went home so miserable, so depressed, because I said, for the first time, I've done 5 hours of television and I did fucking nothing. Nothing.
Because as a comedian, when you're doing something, you're not getting laughs.
Well, it wasn't funny.
Yeah.
I wasn't doing lines like that were given to me from a script. I wasn't.
Right.
It was the first time I was just Howie, and I was just doing nothing. I just
You're
showed
being
up.
real.
Right, but that's not, I went into this business to be a comedian, to be an actor, to do something entertaining, and I did nothing. I didn't do anything witty. I didn't do anything funny. And when it was going to air, I got on a plane with my whole family, and we flew to someplace in the Caribbean where there wasn't TV, and I was in Tortola. And I got a call on the morning after it aired the first time. Rob Smith called me, and he goes, "You're not going to believe this. It went through the roof." And I went, "What?" He goes, "The ratings are unprecedented." I go, "For what?" He goes, "Our show." And I just sat there. I didn't know what to say, like thank you or anything. I just hung up the phone. I thought something's wrong. The next day it aired. It aired, and Rob called me and said, "It's even bigger on the second night." And it was bigger on the third night. And that at the end of the week, 100 million people had watched it on just
fucking goosebumps
on the network.
Fucking goosebumps.
100 million people. I got on a plane. I came back. I landed in Miami. Within 30 seconds of landing, the first person that made eye contact with me went, "Deal or no deal?" And then every other person was doing it.
Oh my God, goosebumps. Goosebumps, man.
That could be a rash.
No, yeah.
She's coughing. You're breaking out.
Yeah. Honestly, this is giving me goosebumps, bro.
So, and out of everything I've ever done, everything from St. Elsewhere to movies to Bobby's World to AGT to whatever I do, the biggest success I've ever had in my career was Deal or No Deal, which gave me the groundwork for everything else. That's how I started my production company. So I started calling you. I renegotiated, and rather than more money, I said, "Put me on the lot." I was on Universal for 7 years. And I started producing shows and getting shows on the air. But that was the one time when I went, "No fucking way," 3 times. And nobody is more surprised and thrilled than I am.
Now, when you were in the Miami airport and people are coming up to you, was your wife like astounded?
Yeah, she knew. She saw the show, and she kept telling me, but I thought it was because she loved me. It was great. She goes, "You got to see it. It's great. You're not inside." I go, "What is so great? I didn't do anything. Tell me one funny thing."
Yeah.
And she goes, No. It wasn't funny. It was great." I go, "But what did I do?" And she goes, the idea of that humanity and people like either gambling or taking it too far or changing their life forever, that's great. I go, "But me, talk about me. Why is that? It's embarrassing. Anybody could have been there." They go, "No, you handle it, Howie."
That's not true, too.
But that's
only
how I
you
felt.
could have done. I know, but only you could have done that.
Well, thank you.
It would have been a completely different show if somebody else did it.
Somebody else did do it before me. They, you know that show. What, no, they did
in a different country.
No, here. The show went. They did 6 episodes at ABC with a British host, and then whoever took over ABC, it wasn't their show, so they never aired it. So then they took the ABC show and recast it and did it with the same executive producer, Scott St. John, at NBC. But right before I was doing it, they gave me the tapes that they watched at ABC, and I said, "I don't want to do this. I don't get it."
That's incredible.
And they did it very differently, but what we did at NBC seemed to take off and do well. And I love the show now.
Yeah, you know what?
And when that show took off,
yeah,
that was when they called Jeff Foxworthy and said, "You should do Smarter Than a Fifth Grader." And that's when they called Bob Saget and said, "You should do 1 versus 100." And that's when they called Louis Anderson and said, "You should do Family Feud." And that's why Steve Harvey has a career. Every time they're going to do a game show now, the first calls are always comics.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I think the world owes me a big thanks.
Everything, they do owe you. And I'm going to tell you something that you did for me, too, which sprung up something in my mind. One time I was at the Comedy Store in the parking lot, and we were talking about Montreal, and I told you that I was never invited, like when I was young. So when
You're talking about Just for Laughs, the comedy festival.
Just for Laughs, the comedy festival. When I was a new person, I auditioned for New Faces a bunch of times. I never got it. I got bitter, and then later in my life, they would offer me stuff, and I would say no out of anger and spite. And I told you that, and you got angry with me.
I did.
Yeah. And you go, you should never, something like, you should never base your decisions on resentment and anger, right? Because it's just
that's not who are you hitting? The big deal that you're not coming. They'll put somebody else there. For you, you're cutting off your own nuts to be in front of, for those that don't know, JFL, and I'm not saying this because I'm one of the partners in it, but July, Montreal.
My tickets.
And all over there, you can get tickets. No, but for those that don't know, JFL launched and gave careers to so many of the people that you watch today. People like Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, Tim Tool Guy, Tim Allen, and Tim Tool Guy. He told me to call him Tim Tool Guy. He said, don't use the word Allen. Everybody does that.
Yeah.
Howie, you're special.
Yeah.
And no, but what I'm saying is, and anybody who is anybody in comedy, had been on any show, is there in Montreal. If you ever have a chance, go through or watch whatever you can on TV about it. The point is that every executive from every network and studio is there, and they're cultivating these people. And people walk out of there with sitcoms. They walk out of there with movies. They walk out of there with album deals. And because you got dissed, and probably wrongly dissed, they probably made a bad decision in not putting you in New Faces. But we live in a sea of bad decisions, and hopefully we're around and still treading water so we can grab onto those one or two good decisions that make an entire career.
Yeah.
So I said to you, you gotta, you're not showing anybody, and nobody's going, can you believe you said no to me? They don't move
care.
on. They got to move on. But you are negating your opportunity to stand in front of NBC, CBS, Fox, Universal, Warner Brothers, and everything because you're pissed at some guy who has shitty taste. So you got to show up.
You really, when you said that, it changed me because I eventually, when they did offer me.
Okay, let me finish. They offered you after that.
And I said yes.
And you said yes.
Yeah.
You went on and did one of the funniest shows I ever saw. And I said, see? And you go, that was terrible. That was really.
I know, did I not?
I hated that.
Well, no, because
Yes,
that's
you
not
did.
fair. That's not fair.
Yeah, because you said you were being heckled.
Because the one show that you showed up to, because I saw you.
Okay.
I'm on stage with thousands of people, right? I saw you in the balcony seats. Or
Yeah, I
whatever,
was.
Right?
Yeah.
And I see your little head, you know what I mean? Shining, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a
Who doesn't like a little head after the show?
right? So I look at the little head with glasses, and I sit there. I go, oh, fuck. And then some guy in another ball goes, next!
Oh.
Like, I'm just telling my jokes between every joke. Not funny, next! And now I'm arguing with this guy.
And that was
And then-
fucking brilliant.
I know, but
He's
that-
not filling in the argument. That's what even made it better. Listen, I love what you do, and I love what you have planned.
Yeah.
Some asshole. There was an asshole again.
Yeah.
You're leaning into the asshole and letting the asshole bother you.
Yeah.
Then when, as she says, the important things are what's up front.
Yes.
And your show was up front.
Yes.
And the thing was, the way you dealt with him, it made it even better, more electric. I was besides coming backstage and see you, I walk around, most people don't, if I'm wearing a baseball hat, don't recognize me, and I'm listening to the buzz as they're leaving the room. And nobody, first of all, I should say,
Okay.
this was, I think it was the Dirty Show.
It was the Dirty Show.
Yeah, it was the Dirty, were you there?
No.
No, it was the Dirty Show. You were hosting the Dirty Show.
Yes.
And
That's it right there.
that's
the
it.
show, yeah.
You were hosting.
What a great lineup, though.
Well, here's the thing.
Bonnie.
So with
Yeah,
all
Bonnie.
those, I'm not going to knock anybody, but they were all good.
Yeah.
Everybody walking out of the show, the buzz in the room was how good you were. There was 5 other comics.
All right.
You were introducing them, but
Fine.
you leaned into the negative.
Whatever.
But
I don't
you
know
did.
What you're doing? What are you doing?
What are you
Thank
doing?
you, though.
But you leaned into the negative.
But you know what? But can I just say something right now?
Yeah. When's the last time your hair was like that?
You like it like that?
No.
No, I'll never do it. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
But can I say what my sick mind said, though?
What?
The reason why I was there, in my sick mind, I never said this to you, was, well, Howie's a partner. Of course they're going to invite me now. That you did that.
No.
Yeah, but that's what I thought of my...
Isn't it funny to hear when you see somebody this talented and when you see somebody that nobody
I know, but
knows-
that's what I didn't express anything.
But you know-
I'm just being honest with you. That's what I fucking thought, man.
No, I know, but I'm a lot older than you, and I'm trying to change that mindset. I'm at the point now where
Yeah.
I'm almost dead. So that no, true.
What?
Well, how long is what's the oldest comic? Who is the oldest comic?
Louis?
What? Who?
Louis who?
Louis?
How old is Louis?
Louis Anderson?
Yeah.
I'm talking about dead people. Who
Who died at the end?
what's the longest living?
Wait.
He didn't make it to 100.
Ed Asner was kind of a comic.
No, he's not. He was on a comedy show. He's not a stand-up comic. But here's the thing.
Okay.
I'll be 66.
That's great.
Well, yeah.
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 But how many years do I have left?
Another 20.
So that's it. So I have 20. I've been doing it for 40. So I have half as much time left than I already had.
It's interesting.
And here's what my point being is, you realize at this point,
It's okay.
just you got so shocked by my age.
Can you not do that again?
Does not look like 66.
Yeah,
this
use the
producer
sound.
just dropped everything.
Please not do that.
I can tell the way
You
he's
don't
looking at
cough.
me.
No one coughs
Don't
or
move.
drops anything. All right?
Okay, but what I'm saying is that you gotta, at a certain point in life, you gotta go fuck everybody else and believe in yourself.
God, again, more wisdom.
Because it doesn't matter. Because even if you're great, it doesn't matter. You know, people in our business always say, how do you want to be remembered? You won't.
I know, right. You won't.
You're right, you won't. You won't, no matter how big. I was just reading about this guy the other day. Do you know Rory Calhoun?
Don't know him.
Don't know that name, right?
Yeah.
He has 2 stars on the Walk of Fame.
Wow.
In his day, he was the #1 Western star. You know, when Westerns were our Marvel of today. You know, whoever was Marvel, whoever was that, Rory Calhoun was that. The point, I'm not knocking Rory Calhoun, but I'm saying 2 generations, which is really just almost 40 years, the longest I've been in the business. No matter what you do, nobody's going to remember. So enjoy
like
this.
100 years, imagine 100 years from now, Walk of Fame, right? Some kid is going to walk by and go, who the fuck was Robert Downey Jr.?
Well, I have a star on the Walk of Fame.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It was just that this is a long-winded way of telling you.
Nice. Good one.
I want to look. I want to see your star. Where is it at?
The cross streets.
Well, mine's on Sepulveda. But it's still a star, and I drew it myself.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. Okay.
No,
well,
it is
good.
there.
Yeah,
but where is mine? I don't know where it is.
Yeah, find out where
Look
Howie's.
find out where my star is.
You don't. If I had a star, I would walk by it once a month.
I thought so.
You thought so? No.
I did that the first month.
All right.
And I was standing there, and a lot of people. The biggest reaction I got was, "Could you move? We're trying to load in here."
Right.
Does it say where it is?
No.
Yeah.
Does it say I have one? Maybe I'm just fooling myself.
By the way, George Carlin was 71 when he passed away.
So that's a happy note. So 5 years.
That gives him 5 years.
I got 5 years.
5 years.
Thank you.
What
Wow.
about
Ooh, okay.
Ben Stiller's dad?
Jerry Stiller. How old was he?
This podcast is taking a turn.
But how?
92.
See?
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah.
I'm 66. Do the math.
It's a lot.
That's over 20 years.
Yeah.
2 decades.
But I've been around for 45, so it's less than half. All I'm saying is that things have changed perspective. You know, I used to think that if I got on the Tonight Show, that was the end all and be all.
Yeah.
And I did the Tonight Show a bunch of times, but it wasn't. It's never what you think it is. The end all and be all was the one thing I said no to, was the one thing that in my psyche was the biggest fucking mistake somebody could make. The point is, you don't know. You don't know. You know that Bad Baby. You know who she is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. She became famous. She was a patient on Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Who goes, check me outside.
Cash Me Outside.
Cash Me Outside.
Yeah.
Nobody went on that show. If most people would think I'm going on to be humiliated by my mother, that launched her fucking rap career.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Like, who would think that? No. So you don't know. You make this plan, but you control so little in your world.
Do you believe that sometimes
you found her?
Yes. So I believe everything. If I look back, sometimes I believe everything kind of happens in the right time and place. And I believe that it feels almost like it's planned. Not by me, by the universe or something.
And I've told you this before. My theory in life is yes. You just say yes as much as you can. You just say yes. Because, and this sounds kind of stupid, but no, first of all, there's a million more reasons to say no. If you think about it, but you shouldn't be thinking about it because you could think of this could happen, this happened last time, this is going to be bad. But no is N-O, which are the first 2 letters of the word nothing. Nothing comes from no.
Wow.
It does. But if you say yes, worst case scenario, you fail and you've gained some knowledge on what you shouldn't do the next time you try something similar.
Yeah.
So just say yes to you don't know what comes out of any moment in your life. And if you're going to shut a door, opportunity is there for everyone. But so many people don't step through that door. They just don't. They have this fear. And their fear is how other people view them. And that's what they get their sense of themselves based on what you think other people think.
Sweetie, what do you know about investments?
I didn't know much.
What are NFTs?
Well, I didn't know much, but I have a new podcast I listen to called Modern Finance. And it's taught me a bunch about investments and NFTs and Bitcoin and robo-investors and all that kind of stuff. And I'm learning a lot, and I'm so glad I discovered this podcast. Modern Finance helps to demystify crypto, decentralized finance, and more. Modern Finance is hosted by my boy, Kevin Rose. He's a great guy. Listed as a top 25 angel investor by Bloomberg and one of the top 25 most influential people on the web by Time Magazine.
Modern Finance is the crypto show for the novice and expert alike. And trust me when I say I am a big, big novice, and this really helped me out. Their mission is to demystify crypto without dumbing it down. True Ventures partner Kevin Rose interviews top tech experts and entrepreneurs exploring modern finance tools and helping others understand crypto, NFTs, and even traditional finance hacks.
The financial landscape is harder than ever to navigate, but you don't have to do it alone. Download and subscribe to Modern Finance wherever you listen to podcasts. That's Modern Finance wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't be the last person on the next train out. Listen to Modern Finance and get ahead of the future of finance. Enjoy the rest of the show.
You know, my heart was broken so many times, even as a comedian, you know, being the silly comic that I am that put the rubber glove on my head.
Yeah.
I was the punchline of everybody's joke. You know, I was on Letterman's top 10 20 times a year. We'd go, oh yeah, and then number 10, we're going to make him sit through a Howie Mandel concert. You know, and the thing is, you don't know. I showed up that night on a dare, the night that I got into comedy. I've never pursued comedy. I didn't think of comedy. I didn't want to do comedy. Somebody said, I dare you to get, we were at a comedy club, Yuck Yucks in Toronto.
I played it?
In 1977, April 19th, 1977.
Wow.
I got up on stage. I mean, I went to the show because I didn't go to discos. I wasn't a drinker. I wasn't a gambler. I don't know how to play sports. And so somebody said they opened a comedy club. I didn't know what a comedy club was. I went. Mark Breslin, who was the host and the owner, said, does anybody from the audience at midnight, we're going to give amateurs 3 minutes. Do you want to do it? And somebody at the table went, you should go up. And I went, yeah, okay, sign me up. No thought.
Wait. But most humans would never do that.
Right. But I also have mental health issues. But but I do. I have anxiety. I say yes to everything just out of, I mean, it's a good practice.
Yeah.
But I do things without thinking of the ramifications of those things.
Yeah.
And I don't think as much as maybe, there's no happy medium with me. I'm fucking nuts.
Yeah.
So I said yes.
Yeah.
And then in my mind, the joke was going to be, somebody said, ladies and gentlemen, Howie Mandel, and I'm going to walk out. Isn't that fucking hilarious? Because I'm just a carpet salesman who sells lights. And who the fuck is Howie Mandel? And that's going to be a joke. But I didn't think it through. I didn't think how to get out of the joke. So Mark goes, ladies and gentlemen, Howie Mandel. And there's a nice, polite smattering of applause. And I walk out. I'd never been on stage before. The light hits me, you know, the spotlight. And I'm blinded by the light. And I look down. First of all, I can smell the microphone. The microphone smells like bad breath and beer. You know, I've never been that close to a microphone before. And I look down and there's people are looking up, these strange people that are sitting in front looking up like, you know, do something, funny boy. Like, what the fuck are you doing here? I started panicking, really panicking. And like I've never panicked before. And I didn't, and I started going, okay, all right, okay.
That's right. Yeah.
And that was just fear. Okay. And I was just trying to come up with something.
Wow.
And then people started laughing like you were giggling, and I started going, what? Okay, all right. You want to hear something? Did you hear that? I had nothing. And I have OCD, and my hands are in my pocket. I carry rubber gloves with me because if I had to go to a public restroom, I didn't want to touch anything.
That's what. Whoa.
Yeah. So I put my hand in my pocket, and I felt my rubber glove, and I go, I brought this. I didn't know. And they kind of giggled and that, and then for no reason, but pure fear, I put it on my head, and I put it past my nose, and I started breathing. The fingers were going up, and I hear them roaring at me, and then I blew it up with my nose until it popped, and it blew up on my head, and I went, good night. I knew it out. I knew I dropped a mic moment. So I went, good night, and I walked off the stage, and Mark Breslin was right there in the hallway, and he goes, can you come back tomorrow? And I go, why?
Wow.
And he goes, I go, what'll I do tomorrow? He goes, do the same thing. And I go, you're calling it a thing. What is it? What did I do?
Yeah.
And then I started showing up at the club and going, okay. And I had no act, nothing. And then I came out here and Mike Binder.
I love Mikey.
I love Mike Binder.
Yeah.
Prolific. He was a great comic, but a prolific writer and director,
actor.
Academy Award nominated.
He was in Minority Report.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he said, if you come out to LA, give me a call. And I came out to LA.
Wait, so Binder was in Toronto? He invited you out?
He was from Detroit.
Right.
Him and Dave Coulier drove up to
Dave Coulier.
Drove up to Yuck Yucks to do sets.
Oh,
it's real close to Detroit.
And they saw you.
I started talking to them, and they saw me do a set.
Right.
And then they said, "You're really funny. If you ever come down to LA, give me a call."
Wow, that's how that happened?
Yeah. So I came down to LA, and I called Mike Binder, and he got me on at the Comedy Store. I went to the Comedy Store, and I did this bullshit nothing.
Yeah.
And there was a guy in the audience. His name is George Foster, and he had a comedy game show called Make Me Laugh. And he came up to me, and I thought this was so stupid. It's so LA.
Yeah.
He goes, "You want to do television?" And I went, yeah, that's what I've been pursuing. And I thought this was a joke.
Wow.
And he said, come to my office tomorrow. The first time I ever was on a lot, it was KTLA. They were doing a show called Make Me Laugh.
Yeah.
He had me try to make his secretary laugh. And I just kept going, okay, what? And he said, that's so funny. And he had me in the next day, and I didn't understand television. I taped 5 shows in one day, right?
Wow.
These strip comedy shows. And then I went home, and I had a great story to tell about my trip to LA with no idea. Listen, I was happy. I was making a living. I was engaged to be married. I was, and if I could go twice a week to a comedy club and just do this, I'm telling you, this was the outlet. That's all I needed. I wasn't seeking fame. I wasn't seeking a fortune. Well, not through comedy, but I didn't care about pursuing it, but it was fun to do. And a great little, like somebody wants to get a poker game once a week. This was my thing. And, when I came back, people started seeing the Make Me Laugh shows, and I got a call to do Mike Douglas and Merv Griffin. And I went back and I did the Merv Griffin show.
Wow.
And it was so much fun just to say I did the Merv Griffin show.
Yeah.
And then I did the Merv Griffin show, and I flew back to Toronto. In Toronto, I get a call. This is the height of Kiss's success. Gene Simmons of Kiss phones me. They got my number, and he said, just saw you, Merv Griffin. He goes, you're so funny. I go, oh my God, fucking Gene Simmons.
Wow.
Saw me on Merv Griffin.
Yeah.
He goes, would you like to be my girlfriend's opening act? And I go, yes. I don't even know what that means.
What does that mean? What does it mean?
I don't even know what an opening act means. I don't know who his girlfriend is.
Yeah.
I said, who's your girlfriend? He goes, she's right here. She's lying beside me. It's Diana Ross.
Oh, wow.
He lived with Diana Ross.
Wow.
And he hired...
Wait. Gene Simmons lived with Diana Ross?
Yes.
What a combo.
Yeah.
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 Hot.
It's kind of hot. Yeah.
Well, she left because he stole all the makeup. So he... Where's my lip gloss? Anyway.
So you opened for Diana Ross where?
Caesar's fucking Palace.
In Vegas.
Yeah. Every night, the audience hated me. The worst fucking experience of my life, but also the greatest. Because the lights would go down.
Right.
The lights, I'll tell you this story. I've told this.
I've never heard it.
Story. Okay.
Let me just ask you this, though, because I have a couple of questions. So, because I know, like, at that time, it's you still need an act, right? So did you have
I didn't have one.
I know. So you just did the glove thing and that character you did.
You watch my Young Comedian special.
I love that one.
Okay, so on my Young Comedian special, it was me, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, I remember.
Richard Lewis.
Wow.
Harry Anderson, and it was hosted by the Smothers Brothers. If you watch that special, you watch that and then tell me if I have any material.
But it's fun. I have a black head, and you put the black head on your
Right.
As a kid, though, you have to. As a kid, when I'm watching that, I didn't.
You're right.
understand what
I had
Jerry
the intellect of a 7-year-old.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's
No.
exactly
That's
what
not what
you're
I'm saying. No,
saying. That's-
get the fuck up. Get the fuck up for a second.
Wait,
get the fuck up.
You're 16 years younger than me.
Yeah.
So how old were you when you saw that? Because that is 1980. How old are you?
9.
I was 9 years old.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get.
All right.
reference.
I was
Okay.
9 years old when I saw it.
Okay.
Okay. But still, it's like I would still stay up late to watch The Tonight Show, to watch stand-ups.
Mm-hmm.
I always had I couldn't believe that anybody would walk up on stage and try to be funny. I just thought that was the scariest idea. They were braver than astronauts in my mind, right? That was insane. So when I saw you, and I would never laugh at them if I saw The Tonight Show. I would see, like, I remember watching in high school, or maybe before that, Blake Clark, who's a very funny guy, but it's like, I just, he wore a suit and he was all right. You know what I mean? But
That's what they wanted for that. When I came out here, I
Yeah.
wanted to do The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
When I finally came out, I would audition ad nauseum over and over again for Jim McCauley.
Yeah.
And he would go, not only are you not getting the Tonight Show,
Yeah.
you will never be on the Tonight Show. This is not your silliness, your craziness is not what Johnny likes. We want that suit and tie monologist.
Yeah.
Which is great. I can't do that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah. So you never did Johnny.
No. So what happened was I wanted to do Johnny, could never do Johnny. And I thought.
Did it break your heart though?
Broke my fucking heart. And here's what broke my heart. At that time, that was the litmus test for being able to call yourself a comedian.
I get it.
Because if you would go up to somebody who's not in this business and they didn't know you and they said, what did you do for a living? You'd say, I'm a comedian. And they would go, well, have you ever been on Johnny? If you weren't, then that's not a legitimate comedian.
Wow.
But that's how it felt. So every comic in the early 80s and the late 70s, if you didn't, and also the Tonight Show got legitimacy because they were launching comedians into the stratosphere.
Oh, yeah.
From,
Everybody.
Robin Williams and Billy Crystal and anybody who went out. The first one that I'm aware of at that time when I was doing it was Freddie Prinze Jr.
Oh,
Freddie
yeah.
Prinze, not Jr.
Beast.
Freddie Prinze went on the Tonight Show. Not my job, man, was his thing. He did the whole Puerto Rican guy, and
Yeah.
that's how he got Chico and the Man.
Wow.
And
Did you know Freddie?
I didn't know him. I saw him.
yeah.
He was at the Comedy Store at the same time, and I knew Bursky.
Oh, wow. Alan Bursky.
Alan Bursky.
Oh.
That was his gun.
No.
Yeah, didn't you see the movie?
No. Wait. So,
He shot him. For people that-
so Alan Bursky had a gun, and that's the gun that Freddie Prinze killed himself with?
Yeah.
Where? Did they live
Apartment.
together?
Yeah.
Well, Alan Bursky and Freddie Prinze lived together?
Yeah. Alan Bursky was the youngest guy at the time to do the Tonight Show. He did the Tonight Show 2-3 times, and he used to buy his act, from the other comics. Then the youngest was Byron Allen came on.
Yeah.
And out of that, he got, which was huge at the time, Real People.
Right.
Remember
Real
that?
People, yeah.
So if
yeah,
you did that show, not only did you get the legitimacy of being a stand-up, and at that time, any Tonight Show was watched by about 20, 30 million people was a normal rating. at that time.
Wow.
Everybody just tuned into Johnny.
I mean, imagine, dude, if I did the Tonight Show back then, one time, and I would be 10 times bigger than I am now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one time.
Well, look at
How crazy is that?
Louis Anderson, Roseanne Barr was seen on that. She
Everyone.
got the show Roseanne.
Yeah.
So, but the point was, he said you'll never do the show because of
He
what
said
you
that
do.
to your face.
To my face.
Oh,
but
my
he was
God.
being honest. He said,
Yeah.
because I was calling him every week. You got to see, I got a new bit. This could be a bit, and I could stretch it. I was desperate. At that time, Joan Rivers started co-hosting. Remember when Joan Rivers was co-hosting the Tonight Show?
Yeah.
Before she got her show on Fox.
And that caused, but when she chose to do the Fox thing, it caused a rift between them.
Between Johnny and him.
Yeah, her, yeah.
But the thing was that when she co-hosted, the ratings were up from Johnny. Because she was a little edgy, and she used to talk
was
about
very funny.
how fat Elizabeth Taylor was. Nobody,
Yeah.
nobody talked about that.
Yeah.
So Joan, who lived in New York, would come into the Comedy Store on the weeks that she was gonna guest host the Tonight Show, and would do sets. She would do her monologue and try it out in front of the audience at
Right.
the Comedy Store.
Wow.
So I knew this. So I called Mitzi and I said, Mitzi, put me on. She's coming in Thursday. Put me on the spot right before her spot. And Mitzi was always nice to me. And Mitzi put me on the spot right before Joan Rivers. So what happened was I thought, I've been told that I'm never going to do this again, so I might as well try to get on with Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers has never seen me. That morning, I wake up, I have 104 fever. I felt so fucking sick.
God.
I go, the one time that I got a spot right in Joan, I can't even move. And I'm just trying, I'm drinking a lot of fluids and things like that. And then finally at 7 or 8 o'clock at night, I go, you know what? I'm just going to try it. And I lived here in the Valley. I got into my car. I was so fucking dizzy. I thought I was going to die. I was going through Laurel Canyon and I couldn't even see everything. When lights were coming at me, cars coming the other end, I was getting like a blistering headache. I had a high fever. Sweat was pouring down. My shirt was soaked. I got to the Comedy Store. I said, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but whatever. I see Joan Rivers walk into the place and she's sitting at Mitzi's booth. And then they go, ladies and gentlemen, Howie Mandel. And I remember, like, I thought I was going to fall over on the way to the stage. And I went to the stage, and I wasn't really that.
Main room?
The original.
Original, wow.
Yeah. So I go on stage, and you know this, no matter how sick you feel, your adrenaline takes over.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't feel sick at all.
Yeah.
And I went on, and I had one of the best sets, silly, stuff, glove on the head, one of the best sets I ever had.
Yeah.
And I killed.
Wow.
And then I'm walking off.
Now, at that time, because I know now we have to bring on the guy, but was there a host at that time?
It was,
Or did you bring up Joan?
At that time, I can't remember if I brought her up or the piano player
Oh, right.
brought her up, but I did cross her in that, you get
I
off
love it, yeah.
So you get off the stage and you walk to the back of the room, and that's the same path you walk through the entire audience in the original room. Joan passed me on the way up as I was coming down, and Joan went, "You're a very funny man." And I just melted, and then she went on stage. So I said, well, the least I can do is just wait till she gets off, and maybe I'll make eye contact. So I'm
I love all these little things because it's like these are little things that I think of too. Like, I'll hear, like, one time I heard Tarantino was in the audience, so I was just like, I'm just gonna sit by, like, lean against the wall where the bathroom is. Maybe he'll go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? But anyway,
I would do that. That's not silly.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
But I do stuff like that.
Yeah, in our mind, once he sees you leaning against the wall, you are starring in his next film. And he'll be
But in
on
your twisted mind, you don't know.
But he'll be on the Tonight Show going, I saw Bobby Lee. I'm telling you, there was this man leaning against the wall in the dark, and that was the seed of the idea. Thank you for the Academy Award. Thank you, Bobby. I owe this all to you from that lean.
So
anyway, I'm waiting for her to finish. She kills. You know, at that time when the audience saw people who were on TV, it meant so much more than today. You know,
right.
And they were screaming, and it was electric. And then I was waiting, but as I was waiting, the adrenaline was flowing out of me, and I was starting to feel sick again. So now I went to just on the outside, the stairs that go down to Sunset Boulevard. I went through the curtain, and I'm just going to wait on the stairs, and I'm leaning against the wall. Now I can't lean against the wall anymore. I slide down the wall, and I'm sitting on I'm just leaning against the wall, and people are coming out, and they're going, what's wrong? I'm just sweating. I'm just sitting against the wall and what's sweating. And then she finishes her set, and I guess she's talking to every fucking comic in the room, and she's talking to Mitzi. It's like an hour and a half. And now I'm sicker than I was in the morning. I don't think I can get back in the car. And she finally comes out of the curtain parts, and she comes out of the curtain, and she's at the top of the stairs, and I'm lying on the stairs, virtually lying on the stairs. And she looks down at me, and she goes, you were so funny. And I heard her, but I went, what?
Nice.
Yeah.
No, you're a very funny man. Have you ever been on the Tonight Show? And I said, that's my birthday this week. And she said,
wow, you were playing.
Wait.
What?
Was it your birthday?
I don't think so.
Wow, that's so good. Have you ever done the Tonight Show?
It's my birthday this week.
Is the best.
So she gave me a number. I'll never forget. I called this guy Billy Samuth.
Yeah.
Do you know who Billy Samuth
No.
was? Did you see the documentary about Joan Rivers?
No. Oh, yeah, I did.
Yes, we did.
We did.
It's amazing,
I love it.
beautiful, sad,
Yeah.
poignant, wonderful. Billy is the guy that ended up quitting being her manager and became a barista.
Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
He also managed Cher and Dolly Parton. Anyway, I called him in the morning, and he said, Joan loved you. Can you do the Tonight Show this Thursday? I figured I was never going to do it. So I go there, and I was like a fucking kid in a candy store. I mean, I saw Doc Severinsen, and I saw Ed McMahon, and I saw the studio, and the band, even though it was her, I heard da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, and that was on every night. And my parents, I said, this is the fucking, I've died and gone to heaven.
Wow.
This is great. And I did a shot with her, and it went great. And I thought, if I never do anything else, I could say...
You killed?
Killed. And I said, if I never do it again, it doesn't matter. I could say to everybody in the street when they go, have you been on the Tonight Show? That doesn't matter. That was Thursday. Friday morning, I get a call from Jim McCauley. He was the booker that said, I'll never do it. And he said, Johnny was watching last night. He thinks you're hysterical and wants me to book you for next week.
Wow.
I went, are you fucking
Wait.
Goosebumps?
Second goosebumps, not a rash. Second,
I can vouch.
You vouch. Real goosebumps. Bro, I'm sorry, but these things that you're saying to me right now, right, is what I live for. Ever since I started stand-up, right, in 95, I remember one time I was at the Comedy Store, I was a doorman, and Dom Herrera came. He wasn't performing, he was performing a corporate, but he came and told stories like till 3 a.m. in the fucking the showroom, just with the employees and comics and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just, this is what I love this shit, man.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So
especially when it happens to you.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I the next week I was going to do the Tonight Show, and with Johnny.
Wow.
And I was so amazed. If you pull it up, I'll talk about this moment because it's great.
Yeah, pull it up.
So first Tonight Show appearance, but Howie Mandel 3D glasses on Tonight Show.
Okay.
You have it? Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Okay. So that's the.
Oh.
Okay, this is like at the beginning. I'm carrying the thing in my lap is my handbag. It's in the shape of a hand. Remember I used to do that? A handbag.
Yeah.
So Jim McCauley was so nervous, because what I learned is these bookers almost have more at stake than you do. Because even if you do great, Johnny goes up to him and goes, "Oh my God, great booking, Jim.
Yeah.
You did great." If you die, he goes up to him and goes, "Why the fuck would you book him?" So they were always trying to second guess the host. The bookers didn't book what they liked. They book what they think the
Johnny
host
will-
likes.
yes.
And not only, and only Johnny, not necessarily the audience. Because I kept saying, well, listen to the audience. The audience, even if Johnny doesn't like me, can't I be on because the audience laughs? So he said, listen, and then he started micromanaging. I don't know if you ever, he started saying, what's the set going to be? Yeah. And I had to go over each question and every word, and which is really hard.
It's so hard.
For me, especially and also for you, because they're not jokes.
Yeah.
There are things that you talk about. Like even my glove. If somebody hadn't seen me, I remember I got thrown off a Dick Clark show because he goes, "We need a big closing joke from you." And I go, "Well, I'm going to close by putting a glove on your head." He goes, "I haven't seen you yet, son. What is the closing?" I said, "I'll put a rubber surgical glove on my head and I pop it off." And the audience loves it. And he says, "Why?" He goes,
Great
he goes,
pitch.
"Why? We would need a joke at the end."
Yeah.
We need a joke. I go, "That's it. I swear to you, it's a joke. I swear to." He goes, "I don't get the fucking joke. You're going to put a rubber glove on your head and then it's going to pop off. And why will they laugh?" And I said, "I don't know, but I do it."
You just know. Yeah, you just know.
So they canceled me from that show.
Wow.
But anyway, so he was going after like whatever questions I asked, whatever things, and we're gonna, this is set up. It was all gonna be panel.
Yeah.
This is all gonna be set up. So then I said, you know what? I'm here. I'm never gonna be here again. I didn't like the way he was designing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Didn't feel solid to me. Didn't feel like, it felt like somebody fucking with my own heart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know how I want to do it, and I know how I deliver, and I know what order it makes sense to me, and you're fucking it up.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do one thing just for me. And if this one thing for me doesn't work, I go down in flames, and I got to do it, and I still get to say I did the Tonight Show. So after I had done all my prepared stuff, I said, "Johnny, you want to see something?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Do you like 3D movies?" And I could see he was at the end of the couch, Jim McCauley's going, I don't know what this is. The fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
So I pulled out those stupid cardboard 3D glasses, and I said, "Put these on. This is amazing." And he's going, "Okay, what is it?" And this, I reached into my handbag, and I pull out a little stuffed animal, and I take it as hard as I can, and I whip it in his face.
Oh my God.
Wait.
Carson.
Wait.
Yeah, that's
Wait. You're not scared it might hurt him? Or?
totally.
No, but it's so brave.
Or stupid.
It's kind of
But there is a thin line.
It is kind of stupid, though. I wouldn't have done it.
If I thought about it,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it. I made the decision, and then I don't go back on my decisions. And I said yes to myself.
Okay.
And I didn't say no.
So what happened?
So from the moment that hit his face, from the moment I reached in the bag and grabbed whatever it was I was throwing, to the time I throw it, in my mind, I think you can play it's on tape.
Yeah.
Look for it.
Yeah.
It seemed like 2 hours.
I know. It would just be like this bunny or whatever.
But I had this, and I would just say, after it hit him and he reacted, he actually fucked up the punchline because he did the punchline. He goes, "This is amazing." It was my punchline. "Doesn't it look like it's coming right at you?"
Oh, right.
It was just a joke.
Yeah.
But he fell off his seat, laughed so hard, and that was the first set. I ended up doing 22 Tonight Shows with Johnny. I did them with Gary Shandling, and I did them more with the other guest hosts, but I did 22 with him from that moment that you're watching right now. So that could have gone down the toilet.
Right. Now, after that, Jim, did he yell at you afterwards or no?
No, he thought it was amazing. I'll tell you, I ended up losing my time on so after 22 episodes, put up the picture of Howie Mandel on the Tonight Show with saber-toothed tiger. Is there a picture?
Yeah.
There's got to be a picture. Do you see it? Yeah, there it is. First top left. There. Click on that.
That's an actual.
So,
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
okay, I'll tell you about this.
Okay.
So this is the last time I did it with Johnny.
Wait.
God.
What I see is a carrot
Yeah?
Yeah.
on top of a saber-toothed tiger.
Giant saber-tooth.
Yeah, but it's like a fake one, obviously.
The carrot or the tiger?
Both?
Both?
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is it's not, it doesn't start off funny, but I became the preferred guest. Like any comic, anytime somebody was out, they would call me. He trusted me. I could do whatever I want. And this day, Sammy Davis Jr. was supposed to be the lead guest. On that day, he got diagnosed with cancer. At 2 o'clock in the at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So Jim called me and said, "You got to do us the biggest favor." This is an hour before. He says, "You got to come down and fill in. We don't have a lead guest. We just lost Sammy. You got to come on." And I said, "To be honest with you, I'm at Laird Studios down in by the MGM there. I'm doing a movie and I'm off in now. I'm just getting wrapped, but I have nothing. I can't do it." And he goes, "Please, I beg you. I beg you." I said, "You know, you're begging me and you guys have been good to me. I've been there like 30 times already. I'll do it, but on one condition. The condition is I don't have time to go over material. I'm going to just rack my brain right now, and whatever I come up with, you got to accept." And he goes, "I love you, Howie. I love you. You got to do that."
Okay.
So I walk into at the studio, and I walk into the prop department.
Yeah.
And in the prop department, there's this giant saber-toothed tiger. And I said, how much would it cost for me to take that saber-toothed tiger just for an hour, put it on a dolly, and deliver it to Burbank Studios? And he goes, "I'll do that for $500. I go, "You got it. We're going to do that. And I need it going now. You got to put that on the thing." And then I just turned to my right, and there's a giant carrot on the shelf. And I said, "Can you tie that carrot on top of the saber-toothed tiger?" And he goes, "For an extra $100. I go, "That's worth it."
Yeah.
So for $600, he ties this carrot onto the saber-toothed tiger, onto that dolly.
Yeah.
I swear to God, it was just random. It's kind of like you think.
Yeah.
You know, it was just random. I had no idea. And I deliver that to Burbank. Jim calls me and says, "What are you going to do with it?" And I said, "I don't know. Please, Jim, don't." You know?
Yeah.
So what happens is I had been on 30 times, and I hear him introducing me, and they go, "Ladies and gentlemen, Howie Mandel." And the curtain opens, and the audience is applauding, and I come out, and I'm pulling that saber-toothed tiger on the dolly, and I can hear the audience is applauding. I get to where his desk is a riser.
Yeah.
You know, it's like there's the main floor where the band is, and then this whole thing, the desk and the couches are on a riser. I get to the riser, and the dolly stops at the riser.
Yeah.
So now I turn around, and I'm trying to lift the head of the saber-toothed tiger, get the front tires onto the riser.
Yeah.
At this time, it's an eternity. There's no more applause. They're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
waiting. So then I say to Doc, "Can you give me a hand?"
Yeah.
Doc puts down his trumpet, and he walks over, and he's behind me. I said, "What do you want?" I said, "Like push." And then I called Ed McMahon. I said, "Lift." It's an eternity, probably 3 minutes, but 3 minutes of television on the Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Death.
Yeah, death.
Not only that, at that time, the way they have their cameras set, the cameras were all, when I finally got it up on, not there, but at the beginning onto the riser, all the cameras were blocked. So you can hear on the headsets of the cameramen from what the fuck is that? So now,
It's chaos.
that's chaos, and they're shooting down, the cameras are What? My phone said something. It said it's having trouble hearing me. Why does my iPhone have to hear me? You're with me all day. I'll tell you later everything that I said.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, and they're going crazy and everything. It took an eternity. I'm sweating. Ed is sweating. Doc Severinsen is sweating. And then I finally got it in, and I probably spent 4 minutes of what was going to be a 6-minute segment.
Oh my God.
And it's blocked. And I finally sit down, and I'm sweating there. And you could tell just by, look at the body language of Johnny. Does he look thrilled?
No.
No. It's just been an eternity of nothing. And then he's tapping his pencil, and he goes, and then I just sat down, I didn't say anything. And he's tapping his pencil, and he goes, "Okay." I go, "Okay."
God.
He goes, What is this?" And I go, "Please, Johnny, I don't want to talk about this. He goes, really? I said, I'll talk about anything else. This is just
Nice.
something that's really personal to me, and I don't want to talk about it. And then he asked me, I could see he was mad, and he gave me like a look. He asked me like 1 or 2 questions, and I realized like I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
So I answered those questions. He said, we'll be back right after this. Now, I was supposed to do 2 segments.
Oh, no.
He didn't say a word to me. The next, I can't remember who it was, Connie Stevens or whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, Connie Stevens, they took that away, and they moved me down the couch, and I got a call from Jim saying he never wants you on the show again.
Oh, whoa.
And that was my last time on the show.
Wow.
Is that a happy ending?
Good run though.
22.
22.
It's a great run.
Good run. It's a good way to end too.
It's a good way to end.
Kind of poetic, actually. It's
Really?
the only way to end.
You know, I got thrown off of the Letterman show too
Yeah.
for 15 years.
Wow.
But he had me back eventually when he was on CBS at the Ed Sullivan. But when he was on NBC late night,
Yeah.
I always liked that. That's why I love your kind of comedy. I went to New York and I was on Letterman.
Yeah.
And I sat down and I said, "It's great being here in New York. I have so many friends here. Can I say hi to one of my friends?"
Yeah.
And he said, "Yeah." So I left. Went to say hi.
Oh, really? That's
yeah,
funny.
Never came back.
You know, I've been 50 years old. I've never been on any of those shows.
Which one?
I did Jay Leno one time.
Yeah.
It's the only talk show I've ever done.
Have you pursued it?
I'm not going to pursue what? They call
Well,
you.
the difference is nobody calls you in life. Whatever is in your mind, you just do it. The Nike has the best philosophy. Just do it. If you want to do that, then you should have your agents call and say you have. If that's something you want to do, I don't think it has the same weight it had
doesn't.
then. It doesn't. So it doesn't really
I think the
matter.
reason why I did
and I
it-
think talk shows are kind of very 80s now. Even when you watch them, they don't mean anything unless you want to do
No,
something.
I think when I did Jay Leno, right? He called me over to the couch. I had a great couch segment, and then I remember the next day waking up and no one called. No one's ever mentioned it, ever.
Well, you just did.
I know I just did, but no. But in terms of like,
No,
you know,
I know.
like what Johnny, it changes your life. To me,
We don't have that anymore.
Yeah, it was nothing. It was like nothing. So
It doesn't matter, but if it's a personal need,
It's not
for
a
you,
need. No, it's not a need.
I mean, you do movies and you do TV. You
Yeah,
could have a
it's not
publicist call and say he'd like to
I don't
do.
want to. I'm fine. This is fine.
No, but you're saying you.
I just fine. I don't need to do it. Okay, Howie, listen. I
Want to do the opening again?
No,
You're pointing. Are we doing the opening again?
Howie, there's just so many things I wanted to talk to you about, but it's like I mean,
It's hard to talk to you because your girlfriend just won't shut the fuck up.
But like, I wanted to talk about American Got Talent, all this stuff, but we're gonna have to come. You're gonna have to come back.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I mean?
can tell how busy you are. You got to go. Got to cut this.
No, it's not that. It's just that we only do an hour.
No, I know.
That's what the fucking podcast is.
I know.
But
I
at
said
the
I would
end of
only
our- but
come
at-
here. I said I would only show up if we did 90 minutes. You lied.
But
liar.
no, we have another segment, man.
No, it's okay.
Yeah. We do a thing at the end called Unhelpful Advice.
Okay.
So people email us problems.
All right.
And we answer them.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I doing that?
No, he's got it.
Do you want me to leave the room? Is that what?
No. You're gonna help.
Do you want to skip this and ask about America's Got Talent?
No, let's
I
do-
feel like
No, I'll answer
Yeah.
whatever
No.
the problem is. Listen to me.
Wait, Howie, he was
Yeah.
really depressed when he came back from doing your podcast because he said Shin Lim didn't know who he was.
Oh, that's what I want.
Yes, he did.
He didn't know who I was.
He couldn't hear me. He was backstage at the show.
Shinlin didn't know who I was,
He
man.
does.
Should we call him?
He
Yeah.
came up to me at AGT. You know, he was just at AGT.
He Googled me afterwards.
What?
Yeah, so this is what happened. Just tell me. I'm not dumb.
You want me to call Shin Lim?
No, I don't know.
I said do it
He can
again.
say whatever-
Do it again.
No,
Do it again.
no.
I want to know.
Do it
He
again.
can say whatever he. Oh, don't make it weird, man.
Do you have his number here? Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yes, that's called Shin Lim.
I'm sweating now.
Or have Jason
It's
call.
your most favorite guy on earth.
But what am I going to do? Before we do this, listen, Rich and Howie, honestly, look at me right now. Before we do this, what is the point of calling him?
Just say hi.
Yeah, to tell him that you're upset that he didn't know who you were.
Yeah, but
Yes.
if you're saying to me right now that he did know, why do
Yeah.
we need to call him? I believe you.
But you'll hear him say it.
I think.
I know, but what? So
Because you were really bummed when you came home.
You're telling me that you felt bad. I didn't think you felt bad.
no, it's not bummed. Okay, it's just that
Did you tell her what the context was?
I like magical Asians.
Did you tell her?
I'm a
Did
big
you tell
fan
her
of
what
magical
the,
Asians.
Did you tell her what the
Like
context
the
was?
amount of times that he's forced me to watch just 8 hours of Shin Lim
So good though.
is so.
Do you guys role play when you're fooling around? Does he
We
pretend
don't do
he's
we don't
Shin
do magic. We do like colonial role play.
We do a lot of ghost stuff. Like he
ghost
just
stuff,
does,
yeah.
yeah,
Paranormal?
he passes away.
I'm
his
gonna
ghost-
haunt your vagina.
Yeah, like
yeah,
that.
that type of stuff. Yeah, we like that.
What do you mean ghost stuff?
Yeah, paranormal role play.
Yeah, if like I die, like I was like, let's say she lives in a new house and this is
My wife's phoning.
1896.
I got to take this. It's my wife. Hello? I'm at Bobby Lee's garage. Do you want me to I'll put you on speaker. I said no. This is my wife, Tara.
Hi, Tara.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you.
I'm leaving Howie for you. I just was calling to tell him that.
Terry, I'm here. How do you pronounce your name?
Khalyla.
Khalyla?
Khalyla.
Khalyla. He's a beautiful girlfriend here. And they do a paranormal role play.
Oh.
So
Like I'm a ghost. She's in a new house. I'm haunting the house, and then we make love.
Can we do...
Oh, that's
Casper.
wonderful.
Like Casper. Yeah.
What?
But more aggressive.
But do you have a... Now, are you really doing haunted love, or are you doing like Hasidic Jews where you just take a sheet and you put holes in it?
No,
It's like a ghost.
no. We don't do that. We don't wear outfits.
Can I haunt you tonight, honey? That's how she says, yes, please do me.
Okay.
Always.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
her begging.
So let's not call. Here's the deal. Okay, if you can help me get Shin Lim on this podcast, I think that would be good.
We'll ask him now.
Yeah.
I can ask him.
All right. Fuck it. All right. Let's do it. Get him. But if he doesn't pick up, we're stopping, and we're gonna go to Unhelpful Advice.
When did we do my podcast? How long ago?
Like 3 weeks ago, a month ago.
A
Month ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm going to tell Shin we're still doing it. I'll tell him it's the same podcast. I'm still here with Bobby Lee. We've been waiting for you to call back. Here he is. Hi, Shin. Howie Mandel again. Are you busy?
He's busy. He's walking to
You're walking to the Mirage. If it's a Mirage, you'll never get there. See what I did there? I'm still with Bobby Lee. You remember last time I called? You know what he told me? I'm doing his podcast right now. His girlfriend just told me that he was very depressed that you didn't know who he was. Do you know who Bobby Lee is?
I know the name, but I don't think I've ever watched the podcast, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He knows your name.
Yeah.
He's too young to watch
Yeah. I get it.
the other stuff, but he's your biggest fan.
I love magical Asians. Tell him that.
He says he loves magical Asians. Is that okay for me to say? That's what he...
No, but I said that.
He said it.
Yeah.
I don't get offended.
Yeah.
Here. You would tell him.
So Shin, I like magical Asians.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Bobby.
So Shin, I know you've heard of my name, but the thing is if you're ever in Los Angeles, please do my podcast because I have a huge audience and they would love you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you so much for letting me know that.
Okay, thank you.
I know what to do when I go to LA.
Okay, thank
No, but do his podcast. I'm telling you, it's huge. You look it up. The TigerBelly.
you. Yeah.
What are you
Yeah.
saying?
Oh yeah, Tiger. Yeah.
Okay.
He knows this.
His best friend works for us too sometimes.
Your best friend works.
Jason.
Yeah.
Jason. Do you know Jason?
Yeah, Jason Nelkin.
Look how familiar he is with his best friend. So how do you feel, Ben? Okay. Anyway, I love you, buddy.
Bye, Shin.
Bye.
I
So
said.
much
All right.
for the call. All right.
Oh, you just the lock. He's crossing the street. You just killed Shin Lim. You just fucking killed Shin
I'm
Lim.
just gonna tell you right now.
He was walking to the Mirage.
Now
you heard the screech and the...
Now, everyone in the room, do you believe what I'm saying?
I do.
Thank you so much. He
What do you
doesn't know
believe?
who I am. He's heard of my name. That's like saying, hey, do you know Chad Norris? Yeah, I've heard of him. The name, I don't know what he does, but
Who's
I've
Chad
heard of
Norris?
those. I don't know, buddy. I'm just making it up, right?
So you're saying that you
What
are
I'm
the
saying-
Chad Norris of the Shin Lim universe?
No. What I'm
There's Chad Norris.
There he is.
He's an
Chad
author.
an
Norris.
author, right?
Oh, Signs and Wonders.
Yeah.
He wrote Vice Versa,
Right.
which is the same book as the first one, except backwards.
You know Robert E. Lee, the general. One of my favorite generals, Robert E. Lee.
Robert E. Lee.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So he's heard of Robert Lee, right? So in his head, it's like, oh, I've heard
Wait a
those
minute.
two words
That's
together.
not you.
It doesn't matter. He's heard of the name, right? But he doesn't know who I am.
Nobody is mixing you up with Robert E. Lee. Nobody. I know he's
do a
young,
lot.
but they don't
People
think
do a
you're
lot.
from the. Isn't that from the Civil War?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not American, and I know that.
Yeah. But he doesn't know who I am, and it's like, and that's what I'm saying.
Oh
You know what
no!
I'm saying?
Look at the comforting that's
You
going.
understand what I'm saying? You heard him. Oh, he's like, what? Oh, yeah.
Why are you?
yeah,
why are
that's
you
not-
feeding into his insecurity?
Well, it's just because the obsession runs so deep. And I don't think it's an insecurity as much as it's just a sadness
Yeah.
and an acceptance
It's an acceptance.
with that sadness. So I'm okay with that.
Well, you know
it's
what?
like-
We're all speaking our truth.
yeah. It's like this.
What the fuck does
one
that
ti-
mean?
One time,
I always hear people say that. I don't know what that means. This is my truth.
I'm a big fan of this band called the Pixies.
I know the Pixies.
Okay. So when I first met Joey Santiago, the guitarist, right?
See, and I didn't know the guitarist's name is Joey Santiago, but I know the Pixies.
Yeah. But
So
when I
isn't
first
that the
met
same
Joey,
thing?
though, I was like, it'll be really heartbreaking. For some reason, if he just didn't know who I was. And I didn't want him to treat me just like this fan, right? Which would have been okay anyway, but it's like, when I go, what's up, I'm Bobby, he's like, oh, I'm a huge fan. And I go, I'm a huge fan. You know what I mean? And we were able to be friends. We exchanged numbers. We're good friends now. You know, we talk to each other. That's what I wanted out of Shin. But it's like, you know, it's not like that. And that's fine.
I wanted an Asian brotherhood.
I wanted a magical Asian brotherhood.
Instead,
Yeah.
your neurosis got him hit by a car and killed.
He didn't die.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. I want to.
Maybe it was-
Can I have some American Got Talent questions?
Why can't we solve other people's problems?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
I've changed my mind.
Do the voice. Do the
Changed
voice.
my mind.
Unhelpful Advice with Bobby, Khalyla, and Howie Mandel.
I'm a 22-year-old male listener currently studying.
You realize that's the same person. The announcer of this segment is the same person reading. You changed your voice.
Oh.
No, I just thought that was amazing. It makes it seem like it's more. I used to, when I had the carpet business, when I was starting the carpet business. No, I used to answer the phone. Warehouse.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Let me.
Who's calling?
Is
Is that my wife again?
It's Shin Lim.
Who's acting? Wait,
Answer
who
it.
is it?
How do you know?
Okay. Hold on.
Speaker.
Hold on. Hello.
Hello, hey, is this Bobby?
Yeah.
Hey, Jason texted me your number.
Okay. Who is this?
Oh, this is Shin.
Okay. Shit. Shit. Okay, now this is great. I was just complaining about how, I mean, but now that I have your number, right? I'm so excited, right? I just want to let you know, okay, that I'm sorry for being weird, but I honestly, I watch your videos 10,000 times a day, right? I watch your moves. I'm a huge fan. I think you're just magical, and I think you're Asian and everything. And
You're Asian?
From a fellow Asian to another.
yeah, and I
I'm pretty
really
much
love you.
anyways.
So, you know, one day, you know me, it's just a dream of mine to have you on my podcast if you're ever in LA, okay?
That podcast.
All right, you know what? I might even just make it out to LA just for that.
Wow, okay.
would fly out to
Thank
see
you
you.
so much, man. All right. Thank you for calling. I have your, is this your number?
This is my cell, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
text
I'm
me
going to
back,
save it.
so-
This is magical.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, of course.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, Shin.
Okay.
Wow. How we making magic there.
So,
Now I want to get in touch with a Jew. I want to phone a Jew. I want a Jew.
magical
A
Jew.
magical Jew who
all right.
knows me.
So now that will get, I'm sweating now. Okay?
Wow, you got, yeah.
Who cares? We're not going to do
Fuck that
anymore.
now.
Yeah,
Fuck
we
the
can't-
fucking
we can't
Unhelpful
do that.
Advice.
Now, what are we not doing?
We're not doing that.
Your
I just
mouth
would-
got so wet.
Yeah, you like started foaming.
Juicing.
You're foaming at the
Maybe-
mouth.
I think I have a gay fantasy. Honestly, I have to admit, I think I have a gay fantasy because my body got physically sexual.
We all saw it.
yeah, and I
Well,
think
I will tell you this: if you fuck him, don't mess his hair.
I know.
True,
I would
true,
never
true,
touch his hair, but I think I have problems. So I'm just gonna sweat. Okay, everything's fine. Wow. So now I want to know how that.
Isn't that a
occurred.
drop the mic end of the show?
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's just end it. I think that was
Thank
perfect.
you. All right, so Howie, thank you for being one of my favorite people in the whole world, and thank you for taking your time coming here. And I get flustered, but dude, I love your podcast with your daughter.
Yeah,
Would you-
Howie Mandel does stuff
It's
wherever podcasts are available, and as of next week at 2 other places.
Why? Wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
and we just I'm not tooting my horn,
Yeah.
but we are number 30 in Croatia.
That's wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yes, I am too.
So that's it. Howie Mandel does stuff. It's amazing. I've done the podcast.
Yeah.
I had a blast doing it.
Yeah.
I like your son. He's very thick.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll
There's
tell
some-
him you said that.
What?
Okay. It's not a derogatory thing. I just think he's thick.
Yeah. Well, this is because on my office, on my podcast,
Yeah.
there's a glory hole.
Yeah.
And he always
Hi, Dad.
Yeah.
he hasn't seen my whole son.
Yeah. Oh, that's okay.
The thick part.
That's true.
First impression.
But also, your daughter's super sweet and
Thank
cute and fun, and it's just, I just honestly, dude, I like your studio. I like everything. Anyway, thank you. Let's go.